Now, continuing on to other doll makers and continuing with the idea of the little American mignonettes of the 1950s, there were other companies who were making the 8-inch dolls. And among them, very, very famously and very sought after by today's collectors, are the early Ginny dolls made by Jenny Graves of the Vogue Company in Massachusetts. And I have several here to show you. I have always been very partial to her early models that were made with red hair and long, full, flowing curls. And this is a very, very good example of one. Her wonderful little matching green shoes, her polka dot dress, the little bolero with the laced front, very desirable. And then we have another example of a little brunette girl with detail on the costuming that is wonderful. It's a little organdy dress, and the flocking on it is not just colored polka dots that are printed in the dress, but they actually are little embroidered polka dots. Very, very beautiful design on her. And another little redhead, which I think is the sweetest little girl of all. So we have a very, very beautiful redheaded girl with this lovely organdy dress over the pink nylon underslip and wonderful detail of embroidery on the dress and beautiful feathered bonnet with flowers to match. A wonderful little doll. When Queen Elizabeth was crowned, Vogue decided to produce a Ginny that would be representative and celebrate this coronation, and she produced what is known as her Ginny coronation doll. Very, very few of them were actually made with the long velvet flowing gown that this one has, and she is a very fine example of the Ginny coronation doll with her crown, with her scepter, her original costume, including the silk banner down the front, and the rare long purple robe. And then lastly on the Ginnies, what I wanted to show you, although there are, 100 lots of Ginnies in this auction, all very rare early examples, I wanted to show you, because I always love trunks and trousseaux full of clothes, and here's this wonderful trunk. Vogue did a series of these over the year. My favorite one is called the Rich Uncle Ginny. And evidently, the rich uncle didn't have children, but he sure liked to buy dolls and clothes for his little niece, and that's how that one was marketed. So we open it up, and we have all of these wonderful Ginny clothes on the back, and we have Ginny clothes that are laid in the 2 trays on top, and then we slide those open. We can remove them so we can show you the wonderful clothes inside, and the wonderful clothes inside this one, including even a little parasol. And in the bottom, of course, is Ginny herself in her wonderful wedding costume. And still, what is it they say on TV? But wait, there's more. Still more costumes. So you can see, just like in Paris in 1860, the dolls that were being made at this time by the American companies, a great deal of attention and focus on fashion. They used to say about the Paris doll companies in that time period, in the 1860s, that there was nothing that appeared in the fashion for a full-grown lady that could not be made, that was not made for a little doll as well, including garters and a little flower and a little pin to put in your hair. Everything that you could find that a person, a grown lady would want, could be made, could and was made in doll size as well. And I'm kind of inclined to think that was also the case with the American dolls of the 1950s. Madame Alexander was not the only company that was interested in the lady doll figure. Again, harking back to the French fashion dolls of the 1870s, we had the American fashion ladies of the 1950s. And here we have 2 examples of Miss Revlon dolls that appeared at that time. Very, very beautiful models, and wonderful when you can find them with their cheek blushing intact, and they're so bright and rosy. That was just desirable to have. And the costumes were very stylized, and this in particular, this one just appeals to me. It's so 1950s, so absolutely perfect in its design. And with the Miss Revlon dolls, as always, you look to find the banner on the side of the dress, Revlon doll. It's very desirable here, and I guess I liked it because here's my purple again. It must have been a popular color in the 50s. And then another example of the Miss Revlon, and once again with her cloth tag on her skirt, and this beautiful, beautiful print, red cotton skirt with flecks of little gold leaves that bring out the gold metallic thread in her bodice, and she has her matching red cape with the white taffeta lining and a gold metallic scarf. Very, very fashionable with her diamond necklace or rhinestone necklace and all of her trim, and even her little black vinyl bag. Now going on in other parts of the world, again, the Europeans continued to make fashion dolls as well. And coming from Germany in the early 1950s was the model that we refer to as the Bild Lily. It was actually a promotional doll given with subscriptions to the German newspaper called the Bild. And it wasn't really designed as children's play at all. It was kind of a, let's call it a man's cigar club doll. It was a fanciful little promotion. However, Bild Lily, with her very, very exotic looks, was certainly a look that is so reminiscent of the Barbie, and there's argument all the time as to who came first. We don't really care. They came about the same time, and they're both wonderful fashion dolls to collect from this time period. But it's the American fashion doll that we're most talking about here today. And here we have one of the very early ponytail Barbies in this wonderful costume, very, very wonderful, with her microphone and her black beaded, tightly fitted silhouette gown with the little rose at the bottom, and even with her little pink shawl and her black evening gloves. This was a costume that came out a few years after Barbie was introduced, and it's very popular and obviously a really stylish and gorgeous piece of costume. But look, evidently, Mattel had also considered doing the gown in white. They never produce this, they never put it on the market, and we have here a prototype of the Barbie Solo in the Spotlight costume done in this very rare white color. Very, very wonderful, wonderful piece. Just a few other Barbies to show you from the, nearly 100 lots of Barbies and their costumes and family members that we do have in this costume. A wonderful midge with a very, very stylish costume, and I think one of my favorite hats. I think that's just a great hat. It looks like ladies go to the Churchill Downs races in May. It's that kind of a hat. And then a Barbie that has turned into being one of the favorite Barbie models of today is commonly known as the side swirl Barbie. And here we have two examples of the side swirl Barbies in their very fashionable costumes. This beautiful orange metallic lounging outfit for home with the orange silk slacks and the gold wedgies. Absolutely wonderful. And then this wonderful evening costume of Barbie with her side swirl ponytail and her long gown and her green lined coat. Very, very fashionable. Fur collar. Oh, it's fun to look at these and realize how much of these costumes are back in style today. Very, very fashionable. This is pretty much of a winner. So these are just a few examples of the more than 450 dolls from the fabulous 50s that will be shown on, there'll be an exhibition in Dallas on November 11th, and you surely would like to come and see them. So I'm Florence Theriault again, and I want to thank you very much for watching these videos. One of the things that I like to do, and we do them 4 or 5 times around the country in different cities, is we do our one-day seminar called Dollmastery. And we really gear it to you, whether you just want to think about starting to collect, or whether you're a very advanced collector, whether your interests are the vintage dolls of the 50s or the very fine antique dolls of the 19th century. We have seminars in there. We limit them to 25 people. We all sit around a big grand table, and I stand at the front and I start talking about all of the dolls I brought that I want to show people different features about. And then, with everybody wearing white gloves, we very carefully pass all the items around so you have an opportunity to see things up close and personal that you maybe would never have an opportunity to see. It's a wonderful experience, and I hope any of you who want to attend any of these seminars, we're going to have one in Dallas on November 9th. If you want to give us a call at our office, we'll try to get you on the list. And I thank you very much for watching. If you can't make it to a seminar in person, I'll try to keep doing these videos so we can talk about dolls over the net. Thank you.